I'm excited to be with you this video because I get to address a question perhaps that is very, very common when you're looking at a gig at a senior community is what songs am I going to be able to play that resonates with this audience? In this video, we're going to talk about the perfect songs for you and how we determine what those perfect songs are. My senior community shows, I talk with nurses and caregivers, and they tell me that the age range when we determine our preference of music is between the ages of 15 and 25. So typically adolescence in our youth, and that age range is particularly important because it's very nostalgic, and throughout our life, we remember that certain time of our life because we reach certain milestones. We graduate high school, we fall in love for the first time, we get our first car, perhaps we get married, perhaps we break up for the first time and we've lost somebody in our life. Those times tend to stick with us, and what I want to focus on this video is that particular age range. And I want you to start thinking about songs that were around for this generation of people, whether they're 95 or whether they're 65. There's quite an age range of residents when you go to these communities. And I want to share with you the music that I play, and I want to share with you some music that you can start to do research on and find the music that resonates with you, the music that you love, so that you'll be able to play the music that the residents love to hear and the music that you love to play. I'm going to break down some numbers for you in this chart that I've created that talks about the age ranges of residents in the senior communities that you play in and the age range when they were between 15 and 25. Whether you have a resident that is in their 60s or a resident that is in their 90s. If you find yourself playing for an independent living community, in the United States, the average age of a resident in an independent living community is 75. So I want to guide you on this chart that I've created over here. This is the year 2025, and today, if that resident is 75 years old, that means that they were born in the year 1950, which means that they were between the ages of 15 and 25 in the year 1965, 1975. So I want to guide you through this chart. At 75 years old, this resident would have graduated high school, indicated by this green circle, in the year 1967. So, if you're at an independent living community with a resident who is 75 years old, they were born in the year 1950 and they graduated high school in the year 1967. The question that we want to ask ourselves is what songs are popular in 1967? What songs were being played on the jukebox? What songs were being played on the radio? What songs and what records were being sold the most in 1967? Just to give you an idea, I've got a few notes over here that I'm going to be glancing at, and I'm actually going to hold it right here. Van Morrison's Brown Eyed Girl, the Beatles' All You Need Is Love, the Beatles' song Yesterday, and the band The Turtles had a really popular hit called So Happy Together. If you're looking at an assisted living community, the average age of a resident, these are all averages I'm going to be discussing. The average age of a resident in an assisted living community is 85 years old in the United States. So if we look at this chart that I've created, in the year 2025, so today, if a resident is 85 years old, they were born in the year 1940, which means they're between the ages of 15 and 25 in the years 1955 to 1965. They graduated high school in about 1957. So, the question we ask ourselves again is what songs were being played on the radio, in the jukebox? What records were being sold in the year 1957? And the answer is Sinatra was reaching his peak with the album Only the Lonely. one of his best-selling albums of all time. Elvis, one of his hits on the radio, one of many hits, All Shook Up. Jerry Lee Lewis's Great Balls of Fire. Everly Brothers, Wake Up Little Susie. And Buddy Holly's popular hit, Peggy Sue. If you find yourself playing at a community that is a nursing and rehabilitation community, in the United States, the average age is 80 years old. So, again, this is the year 2025. A resident who is 80 years old was born in the year 1945. They're between the ages of 15 and 25 between the year 1960 and 1970. They graduated high school about the year 1962. What songs were on the radio, jukebox, records, all those things, what songs were really popular in the year 1962? The Locomotion, The Peppermint Twist, Can't Help Falling in Love with You, Rambling Rose, Do You Love Me? You can take a look at songs that are in the sweet spot of ages, which is why I highlighted the age between 15 and 25 and every single age. So if you're looking for songs that may not be on the top charts in the year 1962, you can take a look at what was being played between the years 1960 and 1970. That's the sweet spot. Of course, there are going to be residents that have preferences with music that might be a little bit older or a little bit younger. But I want to talk about trying to hit that note and when they graduated high school. When was the biggest impact in their lives? Some of these residents had the biggest milestones that they accomplished in their life when they were in high school, or when they just graduated high school, or when they went to college. I'm going to include this chart that I've created in a free downloadable PDF, and I'm going to attach it to this video so that you can print it out for yourself and take a look at this on your own time and try to determine which music fits your style perfectly and helps you to really create an effective set list when you go to your next community and you have an awesome show. So I hope that this was a little bit helpful in helping you determine which songs that you should take a look at and what songs resonate the best with your audience. I wish you the best of luck as you put your set list together, and have an awesome show. I'll see you in the next video.